Hi, Flosstube.
I'm Nancy.
And I'm Laura.
And we are
the Addicted Sisters. So this is a picture of Nancy holding brand new me. I can't be very old in that because it still looks summery. So,
and it's 1963.
You're telling my age.
Sorry. Sorry. I didn't think that far ahead this morning.
Yeah. So today is June 10th, 2018, and this is our Flosstube number 19.
I can't believe it.
So I remembered to do it today.
Yay!
First thing right off the bat.
Maybe learning. That means we're going to have a great video.
Means we're learning, you know. So I have some shout outs that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
If you guys are not watching Jeannie Swartz and Kristen at Lily Pad Revivals, you need to go check them out. And of course, our friend Sarah, the backward stitcher.
Yes.
I really caught up with my Kansas City people this week because we had our Kansas City stitch together.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun, and we had such great people show up.
Yeah, we had a wonderful turnout.
Oh,
and
wow.
Debbie, thank you so much for opening your home. And we just stuffed her house, and she kept coming up with chairs for people.
And thank your husband too for cooking for us and for bringing those chairs.
Yeah. And ladies, yummy treats.
Oh,
I had a great
goodness.
time. I didn't get to try everything, and how could you? And
I was so full by the time we left. I thought I was going to pop. What did they say? Put a pin in me and I'll pop.
We also took the opportunity to have everyone talk a little bit, introduce themselves and talk a little about themselves and how long they've been stitching. And it was wonderful to hear all of that. And the stories, you know, our community is so great, and people just love sharing their knowledge, their background, their history, all of it. And it was really fun. We had one new friend, Julie, who said the most wonderful thing to me. She said, and I'll paraphrase because I won't get it exact, but she said she came to the event to meet a bunch of strangers, and she left with a bunch of new friends. And it was so nice. It made my heart happy. So I got Nancy already. That's one for those of you keeping count. So I have to make her laugh right away too. But it was really nice, and we couldn't name all of you. Oh my gosh, Mary, you made me cry. I was laughing so hard. And you have watched us since the beginning and commented. And
I know who you mean now.
Yes, Mary.
Yes.
When we don't say her whole name, you know.
Then I have to think it through.
But
yes, love her. She was hilarious.
And Jane is always so sharp and witty and fun, and I just love getting together. And
me too.
We had a special bonus of Sue and Judy coming up.
Yes, that was so much fun.
Judy had come up to stay with Sue, and so they came.
And then Joyce came with them. So that was great too. So we had some surprises.
It was really nice. We had a great time with them.
Okay, I got to dry my eyes.
Other than that, I didn't really watch a lot of Flosstube this week.
No, unfortunately, I did not either.
I have been, I keep telling you about my business, and we had a Memorial Day sale, and I was at about 105 book sleeves I needed to make. And
sorry, I'm doing a sidebar.
She's whispering to me on camera.
Like you guys can't hear me, right?
But anyway, so we had just a wonderful response. And then, I'm sewing all week. And Katie said, Mom, I think we should do Fresh Fabric Fridays.
That girl comes up with more ideas. She is so creative.
Yes. And that's on Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram. And Katie and I make the silliest little stories we're going to do them every week on Friday. So I think it's too late for you to see this week's now. But she always does something to push me until we have some outtakes, and then she posts them. So if you want to see me live and unedited, you come right on.
Outside of this,
yeah,
that is.
We're at Love You More Studio. But also, so our Fresh Fabric Fridays, we decided we would release 4 to 6 new fabrics every week because we have so much fabric. We just, and we're, we don't want to release everything at once for the season because it's too much.
Flood it.
So this is the one Nancy was talking about. And Katie loves succulents. And so we got this one. And I can't think what we've named it, but it's something like, I don't know, sensational succulents or something. Katie says I have to stop with the alliteration, but I kind of like it. Well, Laura Landis, Nancy Nettle. Yes. So
kind of in our blood.
But that's one of my new ones from this week.
I'm gonna buy that from you.
Sold! Woo! Love it.
Okay.
So that's that one anyway. So on to your comments and questions. Amy Shingleton. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
She said her granddad was Marvin also. And, it is one of those names that's a little older. I don't think you hear a lot of Marvins anymore.
No, I don't think you do either.
So, but she also asked for some tips on picking colors to make older patterns, like from the 80s and 90s, more modern. So I have a chart at home, and I haven't really started this. Maybe I'll start working on it, see if I can get it into my weekly routine to do a little bit on it.
Fantastic June.
But this one is called Calico Sampler by Summerhouse Stitchworks. And I believe they chose these colors on purpose to make it look like those 70s colors. I mean, if you think about calico, that's when I think about those types of things in our generation. So,
and I think it's a beautiful alphabet.
Oh, yeah. And let me even get closer. What drew me to this, I guess that's about as close as it's going to let me get. We'll see if you can see it.
Oh, that's
Look
good.
at those borders in between. I love those. And the alphabet is fabulous. So, Amy, what I did is I pulled the colors it called for, or I looked at them as I went along. And then I have a huge stash of threads. I mean, you would maybe need to do this in a cross-stitch shop. But I went through...
Yeah, because she has a huge stack of fabric, too. You think this is a lot? It's a drop in the bucket.
But I'm doing this on natural linen.
Oh,
I
okay.
ordered it because it's a long
yes,
piece.
That's true.
I ordered the linen, so mine is a natural linen and it's pretty light. And I went to my stash of floss and I pulled colors. And I pulled colors in a color palette that I like. So, and I don't know that that's necessarily more modern, but it's more me. And maybe that's the thing. It's not that it's more modern, it's a more me thing.
That's what I was going to say. It has to reflect your personality, or you're not going to like it regardless of how it ends up.
Oh my gosh, I just saw there are 3 ink circles patterns, and it's like Here Comes Trouble, and it's the 3 clefs.
Yes.
And this lady said that her school, she's a music teacher, her school colors are orange and black. Her mom had just given her a whole bag of oranges,
yellows, reds.
You saw this picture too. Oh my gosh.
It was gorgeous.
And she did it all. So it was fabric from the thrift store too, I believe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So she stitched them all in that. And, that's updated to her color palette for school.
Yes, because that was her school colors is what she's saying. So.
And orange is not a color I stitch with a lot other than in relation to fall patterns.
Yes.
But
it was
gorgeous. And
beautiful.
I left her a note and said, oh my gosh, I love the original blues, but now I'm thinking maybe I'm going to have to really think and play with what I'm going to do too.
Yeah, because you have the same patterns.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
A friend gifted them to me several years ago.
Nice. So on that same thought, though, I wanted to show you, I have and we've shown this before in a compare and contrast, but I have the Voice of the Shepherd, and of course it was originally done on like a natural linen.
Oh, yeah.
And, I like color. So I did it on the blue.
And remember, mine was on kind of a mottled green that had like bluey greens.
Yes.
And it felt really meadowy and just
I just
different.
think it when you change the color of the fabric, it freshens the design.
So that is true. And so check that out. Maybe play with dyeing some fabrics. If you have a color in mind, play with dyeing fabrics. There are a lot of people out there. Sarah, the backward stitcher, loves to dye fabric, and I'm sure that she would answer any questions that you had about dyeing fabric.
She recommended Candy Stitches, I think it was, that she had a tutorial on how to do black.
Wow.
Because black is a very hard color to get right. It kind of gets that faded look through it. And if you want a solid black, she's got some real good tips on how to do that.
And I know that she did a lot of other dyeing as well.
Sarah,
and Candy Stitches. And she filmed it. So and I think she films like a progression of them, so you get to see what she did earlier on and then how things moved along.
Nice.
So yesterday Jane was telling us that she's going to be in Des Moines, right? Des Moines. And she wanted to know if there are some good cross-stitch shops she should visit. And we told her we would shout her out and ask you guys, because we feel like you're our best resource. So if you have some tips for Jane, she's going to be checking the comments below. I think she goes this week.
Yes.
So if you have some, just comment. Put them down. Speaking of commenting, Kristen, Lily Pad Revivals, had a great tip on commenting, because Nancy and I moan about, we'd like to comment because we have to do it when we're thinking about it, and otherwise
I'm on the TV and I can't do it then.
And otherwise we would have to write it down.
Yeah.
Well, Kristen, brilliant Kristen, said, I just put them in a Word document, and then when it gets to the end of the video, I just copy and paste it into the comments. Duh.
Hello.
Isn't that the best tip?
Oh my gosh.
And I keep my phone by me, but every time I touch it, it says keep writing, discard. And I hate that. I just want to watch the rest of the thing.
Yep.
And I don't want my phone on the whole time.
No, heck no, you wouldn't have battery left.
I sit with it plugged in sometimes. But anyway, that's a great tip. So, open notes or Word document or some sort of Word document on your device and just start writing your comments. And then when you're done, copy and paste it. That's a fabulous tip. And we also, so next on here I have Debbie Seiken, and she was responding to you saying that on our horrible cruise that you only took one project. And she said yes.
I try to be optimistic that I'm going to have so much fun, I'm not going to have time to stitch.
Well, she said she only took one project on her cruise as well, but she was too tired every day to do it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly it. And I think Nancy and I typically will stitch when we're on a cruise, like early in the day.
Yes.
It's kind of just a quiet wake up activity for us, and Nancy needs some tea before she's real social. So
I do. I've only had one cup this morning, so beware.
I am not a morning person. However, I still wake up kind of ready to go. But it's better if you let me be a little silent, because otherwise I could be a little snarky in the mornings.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just give you that look, like, don't bug me.
So Debbie Thomas, the Minnesota stitcher, asked, can we move to Minnesota?
Well,
she wants to stitch with us.
I don't like it cold. Otherwise, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Don't they plug their cars in there so that they can heat the batteries? And
Well, probably the dipstick with the oil and all of that, too.
Yeah, they plug something in, but I know, anyway.
I used to have to do that when I was a kid. Dad would get me a dipstick warmer, and you had to put it in. You pulled out your oil, where you check your oil, and you put it in there and plugged it in every night so that my little car would run in the morning, and he wouldn't have to come out and mess with me.
That's
so
funny.
I have to remember to take that thing out, put the dipstick back
in the cold.
In the cold.
And Debbie's also looking forward to retreat info. So there were a lot of you that commented about retreat stuff. Yes. And Nancy and I understand what the other person is saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so it makes perfect sense to us.
But we've heard from multiple people. I mean, some of you really got that this retreat is for anybody.
Yes.
And some
it definitely is.
Yes. And some of you did not get that it was for everybody. One of our friends said, well, I can't go to that retreat because it's only for floss tubers. Mm-hmm. No, this is a retreat for stitchers.
Yes. Yes. So
anybody. You don't even
is welcome. You don't even have to watch our channel. So if you have a friend who wants to go to the retreat with you, great. Yeah. She can come. We'd love it if she'd watch our channel and subscribe. But yeah, she doesn't have to. Mm-hmm.
So what we were referring to is that anyone who is planning to attend the retreat who makes Flosstube videos, we would like for you to make sure when we start collecting this information, we would like for you to let us know that you do make the videos, because for everyone, what we think would be fun is to have some sort of a panel discussion where you get to talk to your floss tubers and ask questions.
Get to know them sessions,
Yes, and for all of you who are thinking about making Flosstube videos, we felt like that would be a great time for you to be able to ask some questions about getting started, how to do it.
Yeah, pick their brains. All the mistakes and the funny outtakes that they've had to do, because they were stumbling through. Yeah, figure that out. So
our friend Keisha told me yesterday that she's thinking about making Flosstube videos.
Yay!
Go for it!
Yay!
Yeah. And she's a little nervous, kind of excited, so we went over a few tips there together, and she said she's not really so nervous about it because she is somebody who is, I think she told me she was a communications major.
That's what you told me. Mm-hmm.
So, but that's exciting.
Yes.
Somebody else thinking about it. And although I don't know how I'm going to fit everybody new in, but it's okay. Eventually I catch up.
And please know that we're not slighting anyone.
Oh no.
You only have so many hours in the day. And I do have to sleep.
Yes. Otherwise, we don't look good on camera at all.
Kristen at Lily Pad Revival says that we're very good to
I wrote that down.
Sleep.
She enjoys our videos so much because it puts her to sleep. And Nancy and I are like, that's a good thing. I don't get how that works.
I don't either, but we still love her.
But what she said is that it relaxes her so much watching us that she's just able to go to sleep. And maybe she needs that in her day. So,
maybe she does.
Kristen, maybe we're going to have to start singing lullabies to you every time. That'll keep you awake.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be like, oh, stop.
The next one stitch at a time, Ruth. Let me tell you all, if you are not reading our comments below, you need to go and do it, because Ruth gives us the best stories every week. And this week's, is a good paragraph. And it was hysterical. And then I'm trying to summarize it and figure it all out and write it down. Yeah. She still takes up more lines on my page than anybody else. Ruth, I love you. I love you.
Yeah, don't stop, because it's so much fun to share with you.
I want to meet you. So Ruth told us a butt dialing story after my husband butt dialed us last week. She said that she used to work nights, I think is what it said. And about 2:00 in the morning, she got a call from her Avon lady because she had butt dialed her.
Oh, no.
She woke up her Avon lady, and they're still friends.
She woke up her Avon lady?
Yes.
Or her Avon lady?
No, she woke up her Avon lady. And the Avon lady is thinking, what kind of emergency is there at 2:00 in the morning,
Do you need a lot of makeup or what?
And, we said we wanted to meet Ruth and we hoped that she came, and she said, well, it will be a long drive. However, if she does visit and fabric disappears from Nancy's wall, she's just going to plead the fifth. See why you need to read Ruth's comments. They are so fun. Ruth, I'm dying to meet you.
And see, I read through every one of them, but then I forget them before we get to our thing again. So they're new to me.
She's 65 Clement said she loves us, she loves us, she loves us, she loves us.
We love you.
And she binge watched us. Bless your heart. 'Cause these are some long videos. And then she said, you girls are making me get off my bum and cross stitch. Well, ditto. We were talking about that a little bit yesterday. I think I have had as many finishes already this year as I did all of last year.
That is amazing to me.
And
I mean, I've had maybe 3.
I don't know, but you've done pretty good. But I think that mine are
Thanks
not
for
even
the encouragement.
I don't think they're. I think you're doing pretty good, because I don't think you do tend to have just a ton. And
no.
But I tend to average somewhere in the 10 to 20 range. And
yeah.
I know that's a big range, but it depends on, what I have to get
what's
done.
left.
And but I've been so motivated since we've been doing this. And thank you, Phyllis Thompson. Since you challenged us to do the 100 days of stitching, I have stitched every day, and my 100 days was up. I want to say it was like April 4th. My 100 days was up. However, I have still continued to stitch, and I have stitched every day. And here it is, June 10th, and I have stitched every day. And it's not always a lot. I mean, when Katie comes up with a great idea and we sell 100 book sleeves in a weekend, and I was still at school working and doing this with Nancy and just trying to get everything done, it's a struggle sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that I am, Nancy and I are kind of two halves of a coin, because I say, doggone it, I will stitch. I accept that challenge. And what do you say?
Forget it.
Nancy says, you're telling me I have to stitch?
Yeah, don't make me do that. I dig my heels in, and that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have to talk myself out, to get past that. And that's hard sometimes.
People have asked us about, what do you do with a slump? What do you do when you're not motivated to stitch? And I think sometimes for me, when I really get stuck and I don't stitch, is when I'm trying to make myself stitch a specific pattern.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it. And I say maybe a good thing is to step away and do something else.
I think that's what's happened to a lot of my whips down here, is that I really love the patterns and I want to work on them. But they've gotten to a point where I don't want to work on that section.
Oh, uh-huh.
And so they're sitting down here, and I just can't make myself move through it. So.
And I'll tell you a little story later when we get further into
maybe
this.
Maybe my sister will do some for me.
My stash is like 10 times the size of Nancy's. And it may even be more like 15 or 20 times the size of Nancy's.
Okay, but I'm one of those people, and I do this even at work. I have to read every one of my emails the day they come in, and I have to get rid of them. I hate going home with emails on my inbox, so compare that to cross stitch.
Vanessa White, she asked, and I think she's referring to your little blue sheep, your little blue fabric sheep that you showed last week. She said, can the sheep be stitched on Aida?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can be stitched on Aida or linen or even weave or whatever.
There are some specialty stitches in some patterns that would not translate well to Aida, but this is not one of those patterns. And if that's what you're asking, oh yeah, this absolutely.
This one
can be, yes. I think it's all straight cross stitch.
I think it is too.
The other thing is that if you find a piece that has some of those some of those specialty stitches and you are stitching on Ada, there are a lot of really cute charms and buttons and beads that can be sewn on to replace whatever those stitches are. You know, if you don't have a lot of them and you just need like one or two, think about adding some embellishments to just finish that off and make it, you know, it would just be cute that way. Are you just checking to see?
Yeah, and there are no specialty stitches at all.
So there's your tip for this week. If you don't want to stitch, I mean, we have lots of friends who don't want to stitch the French knots and they put beads on.
Yeah, yeah.
Do it.
They look beautiful.
I use colonial knots most of the time because they come out more even.
Now you're going to have to explain that someday.
Oh yeah, it's just a different technique. I mean, a French knot you wrap, and a colonial knot you make a figure 8 and you slide it in, and it just is more even. It just seems to work out better. Go look up videos on them. I bet you Vanna has done some videos on them. And she's always great at being really close and showing it and explaining it well. But that's your tip for this week. Replace things you don't want to do with embellishments.
Go the easy route.
There you go. That's our motto. Go the easy route. Kathy Plackett. She said her French is pretty rusty, but she thinks that the title of this Jardin Privé chart is Tree of Birds. So thank you for that, Kathy.
Which makes
because
absolute sense.
Yes, because we didn't look it up.
No, heck no. That'd be too easy.
We know how to do that, but
Yeah.
did we do that?
No.
We just complained over the fact that we couldn't figure out how to say it.
And you know,
L'arbor, I get that. That's the
L'arbor.
tree.
Mm-hmm.
And that must be birds.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Bird. Vintage Stitches. First of all, she's going to Cincinnati for StitchCon.
Oh.
I'm so jealous. I want to go. If things work out, Nancy and I may go to StitchCon next year.
Oh.
In June.
I thought she meant, you know, coming up. And I'm like...
Next weekend, we're leaving, Nancy.
I thought we had other plans.
But it's something that I think would be fun to do. I love watching Pam and Steph just keep stitching. And I know they had a lot of floss tubers there, and it would be fun to go do that and see them. And I want to see their shop. It sounds fabulous.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and somebody, who was it?
Joe, Pretty Southern, I think.
No. Yesterday, wasn't it? Somebody
Oh.
said they went through her shop, or watched her. She did a video on her shop.
I think they watched Joe do hers.
Oh, okay. There were so many conversations going on. I was only getting bits and pieces.
And we wanted to hear everything.
I know. I'm like, what?
But yeah, and that would be fun to go see that. So, have you looked at our comments 2 videos ago to see who's planning to come to ours? So, anyway, fangirling here, fangirling. Also, Vintage Stitches says she's surprised by and I'm quoting here, how fanciful the simple little sheep pattern became on the colorful fabric.
Oh.
Okay?
Thank you.
That ties right back into Amy's
Yes.
comment. How do you make things look more updated? How do you,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And, yeah. It really does make a difference. And I think Nancy said that was just a plain blue.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't anything hand-dyed, so.
No, it was just absolutely solid.
A little color helps, so. Felicity Flissy Fish. Ooh, I can do that now. She said that she is a huge tennis fan like I am, and she went to the Australian Open. I'm just dying. Okay, so my bucket list includes going to the 4 majors. So that means I would go to Australia in January. I would go to France in May. I would go to England for Wimbledon in July, and then I would go to New York around Labor Day.
Oh my goodness!
Now, not
That'd
in
be
one
quite
year,
a
because
year.
not in 1 year. I can't do that Grand Slam all in 1 year. Yeah, but yeah, I just wow. And she said her parents go every year.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow,
That's great.
That is. I mean, take advantage of those cool things in your backyard because
Yeah,
really
we miss
great.
a lot of things, you know, and that's sometimes I think you need to step back as a visitor to your own state. Go to the state, what do they call it? The visitors.
Oh, the visitor center.
And find out what's going on here. You know what happens, because we've got some things that I've lived here all my life, and I know I haven't seen them.
Well, and there are just things around, even simple things like we drove from the cross stitch shop to Debbie's house, and we went away that I've never gone before,
Yeah.
and that was such a pretty drive, and it was really relaxing. And
Of course,
Nancy,
we like driving through the country.
Yes.
You know, just relaxing that way. So
Nancy and I driving along is a funny thing because we're chattering
Oh.
about everything under the sun, and
that's another video.
maybe not. We might scare
Yeah,
them.
maybe not. Well, especially with me driving.
And then Nancy Dubin said, oh, and also Felicity got her Elsa back from the framer. Wow!
Oh my God, girl, that was gorgeous.
I loved it. It's so
Gorgeous.
pretty. Your niece is so lucky.
Wow.
So, ugh.
I'm sure she will really appreciate it too. You know, it's beautiful. I can't say enough about it.
It is. Nancy Dubin, who is one of our faithful followers, let's just call her that, right? She sent us a message and said, "It's June 9th. Where are you?" We were stitching.
We were stitching Nancy.
We were having a good time, but
Yeah.
it was so fun. Let me tell you, it was so fun that Nancy and I both came home and we're so exhausted.
Oh my gosh.
I laughed so hard. My head was just filled with so much going on.
Yes. I mean, I can't even think to tell you about it because I've still got jet lag from it.
And we sat in Debbie's formal dining room, which was there were like 3 groups going on. Debbie had so much room, and she just set things up so that we could have groups, and people were floating room to room and
that was
checking
fun.
out. Oh, so
Yeah, see, we're getting sidetracked.
we had, because we had told the ladies we would take them, we had our Quaker Garden samplers with us.
Yeah.
And mine's on purple, Nancy's is on beautiful pink, and Sue has finally been able to get to hers, and she is
Yay.
doing hers the way that it is called for. Wow, what a stunner.
Beautiful. We'll show you that in a little bit.
No, I don't have that one. I have that.
Oh, I'm getting them confused. Sorry.
I should have taken a picture of the 3 of them together because it was really cool. And everybody's looking at them and they're like, Nancy, yours is very pretty. Laura, yours is really pretty. But now that I see the original one, I think I need it. So, it's really hard, and you do have to choose what you want.
Yeah, because it's, and we'll get into that when we do the segment today, but it's all about how it makes you feel.
I think I could do it again. I know that there's a linen out there called Water Lily.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
I think it would be beautiful because it's got kind of that pretty water lily color, and it would be fabulous on that, and the way that you would play with colors in there. It would just
cool.
be. And maybe I would put a little verse in where the initials go, over one.
Over one.
Nancy did over one yesterday. My sister. She had a little bit of a panic moment. We talked it through, and she got it.
The brain didn't.
Okay, so that's the end of our comments and questions. We've already really done our retreat update. Nancy was a little confused by my comment. Somebody asked if there was a sign-up sheet yet, and I said, no, we're thinking August. And
Yes.
Nancy took that I was saying that we were having the retreat in August.
Yes.
I know what it sounded like in my head, but obviously it didn't in hers. So, no, we're looking at trying to have...
Yeah, because I was like, what?
We're looking at trying to have the sign-up up by August.
Oh, okay.
And
the retreat is going to be in July. And then we're going
2019.
2019.
We're not going to take names after the retreat.
No. And then we'll get all the info and the sign up someplace on our board.
And I think about 20 of the spots were filled yesterday.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I was cornered right off the bat. What do you mean you're having a big retreat? What do you mean? What do you mean? I want to know. I'm like, okay.
And we're excited. We're really excited.
Yes.
So, and we think that we will have 100, maybe 100 plus.
Yeah. Well, I think
spots.
The hotel can only hold about 130.
30, yeah. And we were trying to maybe keep some spots as day stitchers, and we wanted to have a little bit of room, a wiggle room in the room.
Right.
So.
Right. Because we don't want to be stitching like this. I love her butt.
You love my butt? I thought it was looking good.
Wow, did that take off?
See,
Ooh.
See, perspective is everything. And with that, let's move on to kidding.
I don't know if I can.
Here's our new segment, Kidding Up. So, last week we asked you guys, what would you like to see Nancy kid up? And she had 4 or 5 choices.
We
for
had
you guys.
4. We had Love One Another by Little House Needleworks. We had, which I love this one.
Oh, yeah.
The Nebby Needle, Amazing Grace.
I love them all. They're so pretty.
And then in the Sweet, I always want to say the whole thing, by Lottie Da. And the last one we had was Plum Street, 1831 Christmas.
You guys must know what Nancy really, really likes because you chose
Christmas
with the sheep.
Yes, yes.
And Nancy said that a lot of the comments that she read said that they haven't seen us do any Christmas, so they wanted to do it. We haven't been with you for Christmas. And I don't stitch Christmas all year long.
No.
I have a lot of Christmas pieces on my walls. And so for me, I don't have to stitch ahead to have things ready to go up. I tend to pull, I don't know if you know this, but the last 2 or 3 years, I have gotten a bag and I have pulled a handful of projects. I think I had like 10 or 11 projects pulled one year that were all Christmas related. And the cool thing for me is I think I finished 6 or 7 of them.
That's great.
And it was fun. It was Christmas season, and I loved stitching on things during the Christmas season.
Yeah. Now, sometimes I will stitch ahead of time
Yep.
on the different seasons.
But we tend to stitch like just a season ahead.
Yeah, not real far. I have been thinking about Christmas a lot, though, you know, for some reason this spring. So it's funny that you chose this one.
So Nancy had originally pulled some fabrics that she thought would work for any of the patterns.
Yes.
And some of them she had in mind specifically for patterns.
Yes.
Did you keep the check out for this?
No.
Okay. So she likes to stitch on her check, but with the Christmas one, she said, well, maybe not. So
I can show you real quick. I had pulled a green because I knew, let me get it to the...
And yes, there's something stitched on it, but she has some left
over. I have
over.
tons of other fabric. So I pulled this green because it's good for some of these others, you know, the sheep and the lamb and the lion. It would have been really cute on that. I have a really, really pale pink that any of those would have been pretty on the Sweet By and By. That would have been gorgeous on there.
And it's got a little more, I don't want to say orange, but it's more of an orangey
blush.
Yeah, but it's almost a more orangey pink. And this check is a little more on that colorway too.
Yeah,
it's
got more brown in it.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe that's better, more brown.
So that would have been cute with several of them that I picked. I pulled this blue, which I absolutely love blue, and I think the lion would. Don't get me started. I think you get the drift. And then the last one I have is kind of a gray-green. which I thought would have gone with several of them too.
It's kind of that platinum
Yeah.
green.
Yeah. So, you know, what I do when I look at a pattern, how I decide is I look at what's on the pattern and the colors. And I think, okay, what does that remind me of? This one obviously is winterish. Christmas, all of that. So, you know, I start with that in my mind, what I want it to portray for me.
And Nancy, we went through and pulled her floss for it. Mm-hmm. And while we were looking, now Nancy had some of the colors.
Yeah, but I don't have all of them.
I mean, you can't really see a whole lot
No.
with this. But what we found out,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors required.
but they used three different colors for white. And then there were
there 2 greens or something?
Well, your 640, which was supposed to be kind of brownish, was really green. Mm-hmm. So we changed that out, and she found a graphite. But like, I mean, there were a lot of the same colors that Nancy felt like she could use the same floss. There weren't a lot. There were 2.
Look, see, we wrote it on here so that I wouldn't forget what I was supposed to be doing.
And there are a couple that she's just going to, like, she's not using 3 whites. She's using 2 whites.
Because one of the whites was like 4 stitches. Why do I need a whole separate floss for 4 stitches?
Yeah. And one of them is her sheep, shaker white, and the other one is supposed to be for the snowflakes. Now, she has this limited edition. It's got a little hint of blue, so depending on what fabric she chooses, she may have to change that one.
Change that.
But do you see? Okay, so she's pulled these colors.
Yeah.
She's not married to them.
No. They're just what was called for. Close.
What's the quote? It's more like a guideline.
Yeah. Yes. So I like to do Christmas on blue. So, you know my birdhouses. I love this blue, and it would only be portion. So see, I could have it on this side with these nice splotches, and I could turn that so that that was like the sky section of it. Or the other side, which is more solid, more muted colors. So that was one of my ideas. Another one, you know, Christmas, this kind of reminds me of an old-fashioned Christmas. So red and gold always comes to mind when I think of the old Christmases. So I pulled this gold, which, does it have a name on it? No. So
Solo.
It's a solo.
But I want you to show what's on it.
Okay, yeah. And the same thing here, you know,
Yeah.
it can look real antique-ish. So, you know, think about that. And I've got 2 sides to choose from. So it's a big block. We've shown this. Do we want to get sidetracked on it?
I just wanted to comment something because there was a cool idea. I think it's Michelle Bendy got this, and somebody had started it and had not fallen in love with it, and
I don't know how.
and it just wasn't for them. So what that person did is, this is Michelle's. They had cut out the pieces that they had done and made little pin cushions out of them.
Cute idea.
And that's so fun. So remember
and this
that
is a
walk in the woods. Remember, you can pull your pieces out of your patterns and make things.
Use different motifs.
But I thought that was a good use since she wasn't going to finish it.
Okay, so that's like an antique look.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really like stitching on, what do you call that?
Opalescent.
Yes. All I can think of was glitter, and I don't think you can even see it.
Get right up on the camera. Can you reach that far?
Barely.
Because then, they can see that.
You see that. And it's a nice pink. I don't know, farther back here you can see, and I've got my poinsettia house on it, so I just have to fix that up, finish that off. So that's a third option of things I already have available.
That she already pulled. But I don't think you thought they were picking this one.
I don't know. I didn't. I thought you were going to pick one of the other 3.
And we were kind of pointing at what's up here. So I'm going to turn sideways, and I think Nancy's standing up.
Yes. I
Okay,
can
I'm gonna
get
let
my
you
chair
get
moved
sideways a little.
while I'm rolling over my patterns. Okay, so
There, I'm gonna be back, okay?
okay. As we look at the wall, Christmas is red, golds, greens. So I go here first. Well, here's a sparkle. And see this one? And I just put my pattern with it and say, you know, would I like that on there? Well, I don't know if I would. I love the sparkle, but I don't know that I really would on that. I think there's too much blue and green in it.
And the fabric is so dramatic. I worry about the sheep getting
Losing
lost.
it. Yeah.
He might be lost in the storm.
Yes. So we'll put that back. Then what else?
Well, we talked about this reddish one, but you were afraid maybe it would be.
See, I think it would look gorgeous. I don't know if you can see way up here with this, but I think it'd be gorgeous on this dark green.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I want to stitch on dark green though.
What is this little guy? Because
It's
that's a
kind of
little one.
It's called Meadow Mist, so it's a blue.
It's like a barely there color.
It's kind of a gray blue.
And I kind of like that. Would fit a wintry
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, that would. So we'll leave that one out.
And I pointed, see this one. But I know that Nancy is not going to want to stitch on that one because that is a huge piece of fabric.
Yeah, it's 18 by 26, and this little baby is, well, it's 81 by 67 is the count, so it's not going to be very big at all.
No. And yours are all 28, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me see. I'll do this while you're...
So, you know, then I thought, well, again, here's this beautiful mulberry. That would be gorgeous. I'd have to adjust colors because it wouldn't show up well.
The one below it looks little.
Yeah, it's 8 by 26.
Oh, so it's long.
Yeah.
Okay. This
See,
would...
that would work well. But
If you do a 2-inch border, it's going to come out 10 by 9.
10 by 9. So see, it's not that big. So that could work, but I'm not drawn to the dark colors for this one for some reason.
Well, and you want your poinsettia to show when you get there.
Yeah.
Now, you did talk about the golds, and you have, but they're bigger, aren't they?
Yeah.
That one's more neutral.
Here.
Yeah, the second one down. So, and that's more neutral.
Yeah, and then we get darker. This would make it look antique-y.
It would.
You can't see here, but here's my check.
But is that the gray one?
Yeah. So I don't
know that it would look Christmassy.
No, I
It
think
would
it
be
would
a
look cute on there.
Pincushion.
But I don't think I'd like it for Christmas. So I think, it didn't go, well, yes, it did go there.
And I think that's about,
Those get kind of purple.
oh, I can see that when I lean down.
So I think
you're down
I
to
like
these, okay?
these that we have. So see, it's a process, and you're not always married to everything that you pull.
No. And it really, she only pulled one more fabric.
Yeah.
I
out of all of those, I've only pulled one more.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Because
normally I have a ton that I want to look at. I do like this, Laura.
it's kind of got a good feel, right?
But I'm not sure that it's...
Meadow Mist.
I'm not sure I feel Christmas with it. That was the blue-gray that Laura liked. It would look really pretty and really...
and maybe it's not a definite Christmassy pattern, because more Christmas in the pattern would make this a pretty background.
Absolutely.
And for it to be more like that, that's more... I get that. That's, I love the pink sparkles.
I do like the pink sparkle.
That's like so cute.
So then the next thing I do is I start laying out my flosses. And I try to decide, does this look like it's going to go on here?
And if not, that doesn't mean that you scrap the fabric.
No. I
That
think I'm
means you-
scrapping this one.
Because same thing, that's not definite Christmas enough.
Right.
And
Right. It's pretty. It would make it very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm honestly, surprisingly, leaning towards that gold.
It would be pretty. And like the color that they designed the grass in is to make the grass look a little more, I don't want to say dead, but it is. It's to make it look
Wintry,
more seasonal.
wintry season.
So
Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
here, I can hold this.
So here are my colors. And so we've got the white. I'll turn that one over if I can. We've got this persimmon color. Persimmon. We've got this Old Barn. Then we've got some grays, a green, and then my sheep. And see, I think my sheep would show up really pretty on that.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to go with the gold.
No sparkly pink. I'm amazed.
Yeah. Now what's killing me is that look
It's a
at the
huge
piece.
piece.
So then I'm like, do I do it? Do I take a square out?
But it would be the same thing on the pink.
Yes. But I think I liked when we were talking through, was it this piece? I think I like this section right here. It's got a little bit more of the cream and the gold, so it makes it look more antique-ish.
You could almost put that cream toward the bottom and it would look like there was snow on the ground under the grass. And
Didn't you say this was kind of like one of the week's colors, Days Gone By or something?
it made me think of Lakeside Linens.
Days Gone By?
Uh-huh.
So Lakeside Linens, Days Gone By. So that'll give you an idea of kind of what I'm choosing.
This is maybe a little more yellow, but
Yeah.
It's such a pretty gold.
It just reminds me of antique Christmas balls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the really pretty shiny gold ones. So I think that's what I'm going with, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So, and she'll play with her colors, and if she starts and something is not working, then she'll tweak it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be married to, do you want that one gone
Yeah,
too?
I'll put it.
You don't have to be married to what you start with.
No. If you start stitching on it and it's not showing up, go find something that works better.
Mm-hmm.
If the color clashes and you don't like it, go find something better.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily mean go out to the store and find something. Look through your flosses. I've got 3 of these. I can only reach 2. Look through your flosses and find something that works better for you. Because what we've learned in doing this and talking to different designers, they like it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them like it when you tweak their patterns and personalize them,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a compliment to them.
Yes.
So
You loved it enough to make it your own.
yeah,
So.
yeah. So are you happy?
I am. That's pretty.
Okay.
I like that a lot. So now you just have to put it all together, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's a Plum Street pattern. We love Plum Street. One of our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So, next up, we are at our previous finishes.
Oh, okay. Let me get my stuff together.
And let me tell you that all of the previous finishes today are gifts that I've stitched. So Nancy can start.
Well, I don't even know what these are,
I have to think who they're from.
but Laura gave me these for Christmas. one
Probably
year?
birthday and Christmas, because I tended to do.
Isn't that sweet? Same, I think it's the same pattern exactly.
Yes, it looks like
And
it.
she made me 2 pillows.
And I intentionally made them really little flat pillows.
Satin. I was so proud of her because this was one of the first finished gifts like this that she gave me, that she did herself.
I think this came from that bag of finishing fabrics that I got. You know what I told you I got at the Shop Hop stuff?
Oh.
So I think this came, and see, I mean, I paid $5 for this huge
Yeah.
bag, and
Yeah.
They just were so nice.
But I've always loved these and kept them, and I've thought of different things. So maybe I'll put them together. Maybe I do this or that with them. But they always end up staying the same. So,
and you know what? This was kind of fun. It was a little challenging for me. It was hadn't been doing a lot of specialty stitches at this point, and it's
I think
cream.
that's the only
that
one.
No, that is. I think this
Is
is.
that-
This is. This
those look like
is.
X's to me. So see, get
I mean,
right
like
up on there.
almost all of those. Almost all of that.
All of the little
ivory.
framing.
And I think that it's a pearl cotton.
It's very pretty.
Thank you. But it's, it was fun. And I've never been frightened of trying things. It just,
Well, Mama
there's
didn't,
no fear.
Mama didn't raise no wimpy girls.
No, there's just no fear. You just go do it. And if it doesn't work, oh well.
Right.
You cut it up and make pin cushions. That's what
That's
I've learned.
right.
So the one that I brought today is actually Katie's. And the funny thing is, this is a tension frame. And I guess in all Katie's moving, it's gotten kind of wonky.
Oh.
But, I was going to look up who this is by. Can you look up those words with cross stitch and see if you get it?
Well, I can
I want to
try.
think it's Little House. And they don't include a real picture on the patterns. And
Uh-oh. Turn on
he's got us
YouTube.
going. Hi, guys.
Get off of there.
But this one is strong and beautiful. And I stitched this on swamp fabric from Picture This Plus. I believe that's what it called for. However, I think mine is an orphan that she had. And I just put my daughter's name down below, Katie. I loved it. These were colors that Katie absolutely loved at this point in her life. And I don't know that I put a year on this. It doesn't look like it. But did you get it?
Well, I had it, and then
You have string.
I'm changing it.
Okay.
But then I hit delete instead of gone.
Oh, of course, right? I think this is Little House. It's those patterns. It's the patterns that don't show a real picture. They just show like the computer generated pattern.
I don't see it.
Are you on images? Nancy and I often get
Is that
different
it?
things. That's it. And it is Little House. Okay. So show them that because that's
Well,
what
let
the
me take
pattern
Mary
looks
off.
like. This is what the pattern looks
Oh,
like.
remember.
Oh yeah, you have to turn. We heard a tip that you have to turn your brightness down.
There we go.
But that's what the pattern looks like. And that's how it came out.
Cute. Because I have shied away from some of these because
Yes.
they're actually printed, like from your computer printed.
Yeah, we have to use our imagination to figure out what it will look like. And I think I just was drawn to the idea that this is what I think about my daughter. She's strong and she's beautiful. And I just went with it, and I love it. And this is the craziest little frame, and I don't know that I don't know that I had it done. It's been laced. It's a hodgepodge back here. But these little things are tension, and they will move. You can pull them out, and you put them back in, and you just hold it in. It's a little wonky in its frame right now, but I love
we're
that
all
one.
a little off.
We're all a little mad here.
Yeah.
So next we're up to our drawing. Do you have the bowl?
Oh. Why?
Because you're drawing for this.
Oh, we're not doing this next?
This is it.
Oh, hello. Oh,
My sister is
so
not awake
confused.
yet. She woke up with a little sinus headache today. And I don't think her brain has fully engaged
Well,
yet.
especially after yesterday.
It was so much fun. I just was...
It was fun. It was so much fun, but
Okay, so we are drawing for this one. Tree of Birds.
and I opened it up to look for specialty stitches earlier, and I've got the it's all in fringe. and I've got the translation in there
Oh, how nice.
from Thread Basket.
That's who you talked me into that Christmas stitch along.
She was so fun. She was so nice. Alrighty. The winner is Dawn O.
Woohoo!
Yay!
We'll send you, we'll comment on your comment.
Yeah.
And then you can send us a message and give us your address. Just so you guys know, last week's winners were Amber E. and Kelly Pruitt. We've heard from both of you, and we will get your charts out in the mail as soon as we remember.
Kelly, yours is already in the mail. You probably already have it.
Woo! Cool! And Amber, I just heard from in the last day or two, and I had not checked through my email, so... and then we have a new chart that Nancy's going to rehome. And this one is by Hindsight.
I'm glad she said it. I always pronounce it incorrectly and call it Hindsight. So it's birds. And I'll show you how it came out. You saw that was on white. I did it on blue.
Really pretty. Now, you will not get the charms because it's just the, but you could choose all sorts of pretty birds to go in.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It would look pretty with the little clay buttons. I mean, you could do
lots of different things with it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just realized, look at the border. Yeah. This little bird feet all the way around. That is adorable.
You hadn't noticed that?
No. See, it's fun to be surprised, even on camera. So
tell us that you want to stitch the birds.
Maybe we should make them tell us what their favorite bird is.
That would be fun because I love birds.
Yeah. So tell us your favorite bird, and then we'll know that you want to stitch the birds.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay. That is that one. So, and it's Hindsight's birds.
Mini blackbirds.
Okay, I'm going to let you go first. Next up is Stash.
Sorry, had a nose itch.
Somebody says Stashquisitions.
Oh.
I think that's kind of fun. And I think Kay from Kay's Cross Stitch is where, whoever I watched that said it, that's where they heard it first. But Stashquisitions. Oh, Kristen. Lilypad was saying Stashquisitions.
Well, I got a little bitty piece of fabric yesterday because I wasn't sure. I want to try it, and I wasn't sure what I was going to put on it.
Maybe one of those other patterns that you guys didn't pick.
Yeah, so can you see? It's blue stripe.
Okay, what's really interesting to me is that it's only printed on this side.
Yeah, it is a printed fabric, so the other side is completely white.
That is so unusual to me.
But it's called Parisian Stripe, and I don't remember who it's by.
I don't know that it said. It doesn't say on your bag.
I got it out at CC's.
We had a great time at CC's, and Kathy was a saint for putting up with all of us.
Oh, she was.
She had extra staff in for the morning, and we were there when the shop opened, and we were there for a couple of hours.
We were kind of pushing people out at 11:30, and like, we gotta go.
Debbie's waiting for us.
Yeah, Kathy needs a break.
What else did you get?
Well, I saw this come up on Kathy's Facebook page, and I was like, I gotta get this.
So cute.
It's the Society of Black Hats.
And what does it say at the bottom?
At the very bottom, and it's by the Little Stitcher. At the very bottom, it says, a fly-by-night group.
That's cute.
So I just had to get that. I thought that was so fun. So that's going to be a good fun Halloween one for me. I have got to get some more of that marshmallow.
Who'd you get that from?
Silkweaver.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I showed this one, but I got this in because I have been dying for it. So I have Heartstring Sampleries, Baby It's Cold Outside. And see now, this is one that I won't do with that kind of a background. I will be choosing probably
That's a check.
I don't know. Yeah, but I'd probably be choosing an icy blue. See, I don't see that as a check.
Well, that must be what I need to stitch it on. Let me see this. Because it's got the song on the back.
No, it's from Picture This Plus Ale.
Okay. But look, it's got the song on the back.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I got to go away. It's cold outside. This evening has been so very nice. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that's a fun song. And you know what? I take it in the spirit that the song was intended, and I don't read anything into it.
Yes.
Sometimes we get a little crazy. But yesterday...
Policing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I found the 2018 Santa from Prairie Schooler. Yes! I mean, is that adorable? But it kind of looks like the bunny has no tail because he's in front of the snowman.
Well, he's got one little bitty knot out there.
I was thinking that maybe what I would do is put like a little pom-pom on for his tail.
Oh, that would be cute.
Can you just imagine a little pom-pom on for his tail? But I love their annual Santa. They dress him up cute every year.
Mm-hmm.
I love those. Those are so fun.
Laura got way more than I did.
And then, no, I bought this and I bought one other thing. I was walking around looking at things and I had something else in my hand, which eventually I will go back and get because it was la-di-da and I love la-di-da. But I saw this and I'm trying to live on a budget. A really better budget.
That's like
it's a dirty word. Yeah. It's almost
B-U-D-G-E-T. It's a 6-letter word, but it should be a 4-letter word.
So I bought a Shakespeare Peddler pattern
From our friend.
and it's called Love the Spring. I don't know what things slid off down there. Love the Spring. Look how pretty this is. I'm loving the finishing that happened on there.
Uh-huh.
And then I was sitting kind of reading this and I love what Teresa puts in about things. So it says, this quote is from Shakespeare's As You Like It, and you may also recognize it from Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He sings this song in the inventing room. The name at the bottom of the sampler is one of William Shakespeare's daughters. She married a Quinny. Quinny? I mean, it should be Quiney because there's only one in, but the date isn't accurate, but I thought it would be fun to hide a little meaning in the sampler. Remember, if you choose to stitch, and she tells you, remember if you choose to stitch the sampler in DMC, the colors will be close, but not exactly like those I used in the original sampler. I hope you give the silks a try. They're delicious. And this one is from 2010. And I just saw this and thought, I just fell in love.
We've been in that shop
Yes.
hundreds of times, and that just popped out.
So I love that. It's
very cute. Read them what it says.
It says, in the springtime, the only pretty ring time, birds sing, hey, ding-a-ding-ding, sweet lovers love the spring.
That is sweet.
It's really sweet. So I'm going to have fun with that.
Yes, you are.
And it's going to be a beautiful companion piece, about the same size, I bet, as my Magic Garden.
Oh, fun.
And then I got home and found out, and ladies, I told you that these were still there, and either you all went home and bought them, or I lied to you. But Dinky Dyes popped up on my feed this week, and they had restocked their shop, and I got this collection, 20 strands of silk, and they're colors that either they're not using anymore, or they aren't colors that they want to keep in their store, or they didn't come out the way they intended them. 20 skeins of Dinky Dyes, $20. And then they throw in this extra little bit that has 4 or 5 little single links of colors. And look, this month I got a bird. And it's in the same print, so they must do this. And I need to get last time's out and make it into a needle minder, and this one definitely needs to be a needle minder because that is sweet.
Those are cute.
And then I have one that Nancy doesn't even know about because I didn't pull it out yet.
Oh my.
Because I was afraid she'd steal it. What? So I got home and Katie made me do an unboxing on her video.
I didn't steal anything else from you today. I don't know why you say that.
Well, then I hope this isn't the one. So I got home and take a little whiff. It's not a heavy scent.
Okay. Oh, I can already smell it. Uh-huh.
This candle is called Addicted Sisters. Katie had this made for me. It's got the sparkly top. And it is ocean rain and fresh air.
Oh.
It is. I mean, it's really nice. It's kind of a nice, subtle smell.
Yeah, see,
and
we have the fan on because of my headache thing, so it's blowing across here.
And it is just a nice...
I like that.
I had said, oh, you know, I love these clean smells. I love the rain. And
yes.
I love how rain smells
I like
in
fresh
the air.
cotton.
Yeah, I've said that too. So Katie was trying to decide what to name it and decided... Now, it's not in the shop as Addicted Sisters. However, this is from Jessie at Novel Heartbeat, and she has an Etsy shop that is Novel Heartbeat. She's on Instagram at Novel Heartbeat, and she makes beautiful candles, and she's rebranding and going into this kind of packaging. So I have, oh my gosh, I have one that Katie bought me that is blood orange scent. Oh, so good. Jessie really is a great candle maker, and she's, you know, she gives good tips about how to burn them and everything else.
Well, and if you look at it, it looks really solid. I mean, even the bottom looks really solid. You don't see any air holes or bubbles at all, which is great. That's hard to achieve.
She does a lovely job. And does it say what size this one is?
I don't know. I can't quite see.
This one is hand poured, 8 ounce, 100% soy wax, novelheartbeatcreations.com. So that's how you get to it.
Very cool.
It's called Novel Heartbeat Creations because her candles are generally book themed.
Ah, okay.
So there are some fun things.
That's
And
pretty.
it's beautiful, and
It goes so nice in my house.
It will not. It will go beautifully in my house. So that's my stash for the week. Then I wanted to show you my update on the stitch along. I think Nancy's hit a little bit of a road bump with it, and she's just stalled for a week or two, and we'll both be. I know you're like, but it's your stitch along. We'll be back to it. We can't push because we already told you that she's got that mulish side that will just prevent her.
I got off is what happened with me. I got off a stitch,
and that ticks her off.
Yeah, so I have to think about how I can go in from a different angle to see if it really is off or if it's just off in my eye. You know.
So this is our stitch along 2Bs and ABCs from Rosewood Manor, and it is beautiful. And I got a little more done on mine. I finished my top band, those leaves, and then I added everything else below it. Now I got to tell you that it says I'm doing mine on 32 count, so I'm using 2 strands. But I got in here and it said to use 1 strand for back stitch, and then I would have had to use 2 strands for all of the X's in the letters, and I decided that they look a lot like black work, and so I just did that whole thing with 1 strand. And
I think it looks fine. I think it looks beautiful. I love that font.
I do too, and I think that it will let it fade away a little, and it lets all the curly cues look really pretty on there. Our friend Sue is also stitching this one.
Yay. Hi, Sue.
And we had something wonderful happen with her. Oh, come on. Because I'm looking at hers yesterday, and this is what hers looks like so far. Come on, get in there. We'll turn this way. There we go. But I want you to see, Sue put, maybe that's as close as I need to get it. Sue put do this. There we go.
There it goes.
Sue put a basting line down both sides and down the center. And she's removing it as she stitches. Now Sue goes over 2 stitches and under 2 stitches the whole way.
For her basting line.
For her basting line. But she put it right at the edge. You see that? She put it right at the edge of the stitched line. So that's how far out it goes. And like that top band, when you get done with it, then you have to count down and figure out where to get your next straight line to make it go. So Sue was smart, and she said she didn't want to count 100 stitches again across. And so she went back. Oh, I got to tap us now.
Little tap, Lord.
It was a little tap. But anyway, so she didn't want to have to count it again. Excuse me.
Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me.
So, but what did they say? I can't think. Now I won't get it. This will be fun. Okay. Okay. Technical difficulties. Nancy is always telling me that I get this thing back too far.
Where's the thing?
It went that way.
There it is.
There's a little excitement.
Oh, man.
Okay. You got this? Yeah, you're seeing right down my shirt. Thank you. Okay. Life is grand. And then it all falls.
Boy, that gave some color to my face.
Kristen, you awake now? Did I turn it too far?
Yeah.
There we go. Is that better?
Okay.
Okay, that was fun. So, and we're almost at the end, and that happens.
And my head's
that's
going,
like,
woo, woo.
that was pretty funny. So,
Oh, goodness, goodness.
anyway, that was good.
But I thought that was a good tip from Zoo. Because
Back on track.
the 2 lines, on the outside edge, that is so genius. Because, I mean, everybody does all the crossing and stuff, but I don't want to go through all of that time to block
Every time.
out my whole pattern. And the 2 lines straight down just keep you right on track.
And I love that she did the center because, like, that top row is all about, it's just crazy, and you have to figure out where to start. In fact, so I started over here, and I stitched across, and this wasn't too bad because I could count in however many it was and come down and start this little line. But when I finished with these, then I had to get over to the end one and make sure it was in a good spot. I ended up going and doing my back stitching, the vine line, before I did this very last one. Oh, and I think I told you guys, I don't know if I told you guys last week, I put in the vine with 1 thread, didn't like it. Pulled it out, put it in with 2 threads, it was way too heavy.
Yeah.
Went back, put it back in with 1 thread. That was it. So I'm leaving it there. But that's what we've got. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was exciting. Is your heart slowed down a
A
little?
little.
Okay. So
Don't
next
give me heart
up,
attacks.
we want to talk about our current whips and plans.
All right.
You can go.
I can go.
I need another drink. I'm having another iced coffee today.
Well, I am working on Wilhelmina. And I've got quite a bit done. I think I have 8 motifs left. This little thing has so many motifs on it.
Look at her little bitty blue over 1 heart.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
it cute?
that's my heart I did. So I still don't have her eyes in. I haven't decided. I'm going to do it in that blue. Give her blue eyes.
That would be cute. Woo! Bless you.
Sorry.
And your back looks really good on this one.
My what?
Your back.
Oh.
Because I get to see it from the back, I don't know what this latest obsession is with show your backs, but not seeing the backs of mine.
You saying I'm obsessed with showing them?
No, I'm
Oh.
saying that online people are like, show us your backs. And I just think,
You know, I don't know, since I learned the pin stitch and
makes a big difference.
the loop start, I don't have all that dragging all over. Now, we did drag on the little blue heart because that's where I got stuck. I'm like, it's single strand. How am I going to use the pin stitch? I can't use a pin stitch. How am I going to use I can't use a loop start. And I'm like, Laura, I need your help. And she's like, she's being very calm and counting and saying, okay, this is where you do it and this is how you start. And I'm like, I don't care about that. I want to know how to get it in the fabric. How do I tie it off? And finally she says, just run it up the leg and drag it over. Oh.
Her fabric is heavy enough to do that. And I think, talking about the back, if my fabric is lighter, I don't want to carry things all over the place.
No.
But if my fabric will take it, yeah, I'm probably carrying.
It depends on what's going on
around
that. Because if it's a lot of confetti and I'm going from here to here to here to here,
yeah.
I may drag it. And because I know eventually it's going to get covered with the next stitches.
Now, the rule that I always learned is that you should not travel more than 10 stitches. And, 10 stitches can be a long way if you're like, I don't go 10 stitches on Tula. That would be huge.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be an inch. Because it's 10 count.
Yeah.
So, I need a bang trim. I can just,
I'm thinking... See, you can tell I have a headache because my hair just kind of...
So current whips for me, and I have a story for you on this. I'm working on Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. This was my May 1st Mania start.
Love it.
And
I love that red gate, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so I started working on this. And, I have a curly part. Always have a curly part because I stitch in hand. If you wonder why I always have curls, that's why. So
that means that she rolls it like this.
Yeah, to get to
protect from her hands.
So, which I wash obsessively while I'm stitching.
Well, yeah.
Part of this is done in one strand and part of this is done in two, and it's all Vicky Clayton silks. And the gate is actually done in two, and the house is only done in one. And I don't.
Wow.
And they're two different reds.
Okay.
And this border, I used Vicky's. It's called Milligrubs. I don't want to tap the screen again. There we go. Maybe I can just angle. It's called Milligrubs, and it's got that.
She said that as I had a full mouth of tea.
It's got that more goldish and the greenish that they charted, but it's all in one floss.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's another good tip.
Yeah. I don't know if I had already used part of this, but I started stitching it with two strands. I started stitching this border over here with two strands. Yep, this side. With two strands, and I went up and I thought, oh no, I'm going to run out. So I promptly, and I was probably this far, I ripped it all back out.
Oh, saved your floss?
And I put it back in, yes, and I took it out I said ripped it out. No, I gently took it out. And I started putting it back in, and and it's not a huge piece.
Mm-mm.
I got up to the top, and I thought, I'm not going to have enough. So I went out, I think I told you, I asked my stash warriors, who has this? Well, Judy Starkey has it. Yay! Hi, Judy. Thank you. So when she saw us yesterday, she brought me some more of this. And I had enough to finish the border in mine. Plus, I have one strand left. There's a lot of it in the center. Every place, like all this green, all of this in here is that color. But the funny story, so I built my house this week, and my gate, and the other side of the... I got a lot done.
You showing your back?
Oh, I was. So, yeah, and I didn't carry a whole lot of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, those little windows, I did them first. I couldn't see them. when
You
I was...
expect a little carriage in this.
Yes.
And there's not hardly any at all.
No, it was a pretty solid...
Uh-huh.
I got into a good rhythm, and then I was able to just go. But I thought, oh, yay, I have the outside border done. Oh, yay, I have the outside border done. No, I have to put strawberries on all of them. So I was a little like, "Rah." And I still love this piece, and it's not a problem. But for now, I set it aside.
Yeah.
And
That's so funny. Cause,
yeah.
You know, that's what you do on a lot of pieces.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get so excited about getting one piece done, you forget that there's more.
And I'll be right back to it.
Yeah.
But so I pulled out, I guess I could have called this Fall Friday stitching, or, you know, because I was working on it on Friday. Yeah, I moved my floss to the back already. This one is Halloween Eve by Blackbird Designs. Love this big piece. It's fabulous. And my fabric is way too big for it right now. It's too long for it because I haven't cut it off. Oh, you want to do curlies for me again?
Okay.
So this week I finished up the H and the A on Halloween. Oh, wow. I got to be a little further.
Yeah.
There we go. And I started that basket. That little basket is what I did yesterday. I didn't get very much done. But the funny thing about this, we talk about different colors. I'm sure when they designed this, the colors were different. But all of this really dark brown, it's actually two different colors, dark chocolate and espresso bean.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't, oh, my needle came clear undone. I can't tell the difference. In fact, it's in the bird here, and I love this bird. I may have to do something with this bird.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But this upper wing, this back wing, it's outlined in one of the colors, and it's filled in with the other. I don't really see that difference. Now, that floss is what they called for on the bird. And I
that
love that.
Smoky look to him.
Mm-hmm. That bird is like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And they do so many cool touches. This
They do.
branch that he's by, it's the
stem.
vine off the, love it. So that's what I was working on. And this week, I don't know if I'll stick with this. Today's Sunday. What do they do on Santa Sundays? That's what they do on Sunday. So, good day for you to start your piece that they chose for you. You could have a Santa Sunday stitching day and start it.
So you were going to tell me I had to start on my Santa Claus.
No, but, anyway. So until then, she's Nancy.
And she's Laura.
And we are the Addicted Sisters. Have a stitchy week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.